These are the most feared prison inmates in the world. Welcome back, Charlie here. Prison is a scary place. If you ever end up behind bars, you'd better hope you don't share a cell with any of these people. These criminals did unimaginable crimes both outside and inside prison. First, we have to look at Jason Barnum. This inmate looks absolutely terrifying. In 2015, this prison inmate went viral, not only for his crime, but also his very scary looks. In November 2015, Jason went on a crime spree. He began burglarizing many homes. He targeted many homes in Alaska. Of course, because of his distinctive looks, police knew who to look for. One night, Jason was staying at a motel in Alaska. That's when a cop recognized him and went to investigate. But that's when Jason took out a firearm and injured the cop. Eventually, Jason was hunted down and caught. He was found guilty of attempted murder, burglary, and other charges, and was sentenced to 22 years behind bars, meaning he won't be out of prison until he's 61 years old. Just imagine having to share a cell with this inmate. His face is covered in skull tattoos, and he's even tattooed his right eyeball. And at the top of Jason's head is a large skull tattoo. Jason has a very long criminal history. He has been in and out of prison since 1993, getting arrested in 1993, 1994, 2000, and 2005. Prison is a very scary place, but I think even behind bars, no one will mess with a guy who looks like this. Now we have to look at an even scarier criminal, one who will haunt your dreams forever. This is Joseph James DeAngelo, better known as the Golden State Killer. At one point, this man was the most feared criminal in the USA. His reign of terror spanned from 1974 to 1986. During those years, he burgled 120 people and ended 13 lives. Amazingly, he was only apprehended in 2018. Over all of those years, cops had no idea of his true identity. He was only discovered and arrested in 2018. This was after new DNA evidence emerged. He also taunted and threatened both victims and police. One of his victims even got away, and years later he would call her up. He would say down the phone, "I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you." Just imagine receiving that call. In August of 2020, DeAngelo was sentenced to life in prison. He is now 76, meaning he will never get out. At one point in time, he was even a cop himself, meaning that he knew how to evade law enforcement. It's scary to think that for many decades, this evil man was totally free. He is now locked away behind bars, but despite his old age, he is still very feared in prison. It's clear this man is a true psychopath with zero remorse for his crimes. Now we have to look at the most violent prisoner to ever live. Meet Charles Bronson. This man has spent most of his life behind bars, and most of his crimes actually took place in prison. When he was 22, he first went to prison for 7 years. This was for an armed robbery. It's inside this prison that he began his reign of terror. While in prison for the first time, he got into many fights. All of these were unprovoked and started by Bronson. He was transferred to another prison where he tried to poison a fellow inmate. He also tried to dig his way out and escape. He was then sent to a remote prison on the Isle of Wight, but moving him to an island did not help. He continued to be very violent and difficult behind bars. He was then transferred to various mental hospitals, but he would lash out every time and would have to be moved. He was actually a free man for a few years, but he soon reoffended. The issue was most prisons would refuse to take him in. He was basically too dangerous for any prison. Eventually a prison accepted him, but soon after that he took a prison librarian hostage. He demanded a helicopter, an inflatable doll, and a cup of tea. He was taken to solitary confinement after this, but he then took a prison guard hostage. After this, he had to be moved to what's known as a Hannibal cage. But he then took another prison worker hostage. He was then moved to another prison where he took 3 more people hostage. He was then moved to another prison where he took 2 more hostages, and also destroyed all of the furniture in his prison cell. It's safe to say he is the most violent prisoner on the planet. As of 2021, he's been held in HM Prison Wood Hill. This is a maximum security prison in Buckinghamshire. Next, we have to look at a Missouri prisoner dubbed the world's scariest perp. This is Michael Campbell. In 2021, he was arrested for trying to assault a woman. But Michael's criminal history began many years ago in 2003. Over the years, he's been arrested for assault, burglary, grand theft, and escape from custody. Over the years, it seems his look has got scarier and scarier. This is how he looked in 2003, and this is how he looked in 2008. This most recent mugshot is from 2021. The scary thing is, he tried to assault the woman while she slept in her own bed with her boyfriend. Just imagine waking up to this man in your bed. Thankfully, Michael Campbell now faces life behind bars. Let's hope this man is not let out of custody anytime soon. Moving on, we have to look at Grady Stiles. Grady Stiles' story is one of the most bizarre criminal tales you will ever hear. He was born in 1937 with a deformity. This made his fingers and toes fuse together to look like claws. Because of this, Grady joined the circus. He performed under the name Lobster Boy, and he actually got pretty popular and famous within the circus. Eventually, he got married to another carnival performer, but as he got older, he began getting more angry and drinking more. He was very mean to his wife, and his kids too, who were born with the same disease as him. In 1978, Grady's eldest daughter was about to get married. But on the eve of her wedding, Grady shot his daughter's fiancé, causing her fiancé to lose his life. He was taken to prison where he then threatened to take his wife's life too. But he never could, as Grady was given life behind bars. It's said because of his deformity, every inmate was very scared of Grady. He was also very violent to his fellow prison inmates. Grady passed away in prison in 1992. Finally, we have to look at the scariest prisoner in Japan. Japanese prisons are known for their brutality, but the scariest part about Japanese prison would be running into this man. This is Satomu Miyazaki. In just 1 year, he took 4 girls' lives. The girls ranged from age 4 to 7 years old. He would take them in his car. He would then take their lives and even eat them, preserving some of their body parts as trophies. To make things even scarier, he would taunt his victims' families. He would do this with phone calls, letters, and even photographs. Eventually, he was caught in the act by a father of 2 girls he was trying to abduct. The girl's father chased him on foot, but Satomu got away. Eventually, he was caught by police and taken to prison. He spent some time in a Japanese prison where he scared many other inmates, but was later given capital punishment in 2008. Today, he's regarded as one of the scariest criminals in Japanese history. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below which prison inmate was the most scary. If you want to see my short videos, then check out my second channel. I've been Charlie, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.